So there is one issue on the minds of voters in Iowa and New Hampshire that might surprise you, given the location of both of these states in a map of the United States. More than a third of Iowa caucus goers last weekend said immigration was the most important issue to them. Again, that's Iowa, which is over 1,000 miles away from the U.S.-Mexico border. I think it's safe to say that those scary migrant caravans everyone speaks about, specifically Trump and others, won't exactly be reaching the homes of Iowa Republicans anytime soon. But guess what? Fox News sure will. There may be a connection there. Now, take a listen to what some voters told me here in New Hampshire just last night. What are the biggest issues that you're focused on as you're trying to make your decision in the next couple of days?
I guess, like a lot of other people, the economy, and definitely the border, meaning the southern border and the northern border, being in New Hampshire, right?
Is the border one of a top issue for you?
Absolutely.
And what worries you the most about the border?
Well, it's everything. I mean, the fentanyl coming in, the fact that we've got all these illegal, you don't know who's coming across that border. You don't know how many terrorists.
Now, presumably, given how much voters care about these issues, leading Republicans who run the country, or who want to run the country again, let's say, would be eager to find a solution to this issue, right? I mean, there's a deal being currently worked on in the Senate right now. Senate Republicans have been working on a bipartisan package that includes increased border security, something they say they want, and new funding also for Ukraine. It's definitely imperfect, this bill. But just sticking with the Republican electorate here, lots of Republican leaders are out there saying this deal is basically as good as it's ever going to get.
To those who think that if President Trump wins, which I hope he does, that we can get a better deal, you won't.
When the bill is released and everyone, particularly conservatives and President Trump, sees the tools that will be available to a President Trump should he win the election, to lose this opportunity to get it passed into law, I think is malpractice.
Some people say, oh, well, Biden wants it now because it's helpful to him politically. Okay, I want border security. That's what I told my constituents that I would do for them. So if we can get that deal, that's a no-brainer.
Dan Crenshaw, Lindsey Graham, Thom Tillis, three very conservative Republicans, not exactly members of the liberal caucus here. They're all saying this is a no-brainer. But of course, there is just one big problem.
The president actually just got off the phone with me right before the show, and he said he has spoken to you about this deal and that he is against it, and he urged you to be against this deal. He was President Trump was extremely adamant about that. Your reaction to that, given the fact that, look, he knows how to do this enforcement stuff. You don't need some new bill coming out of the Senate to get the border enforced.
Yeah, President Trump is not wrong. He and I have been talking about this pretty frequently. I talked to him night before last about the same subject.
There it is. You can always rely on Mike Johnson, by the way, to take direction from his boss, Donald Trump, when necessary. But we all know the real reason Trump wants to tank this deal. He doesn't actually care about solving the problem at the border. He wants the problem. He wants the issue to run on because it is the fear-mongering, the scare tactics that he is betting on to excite his voters and his base. Look, the border is broken. The immigration system is outdated. It hasn't been updated in decades. And yes, this deal is far from perfect. But if Trump is successful in tanking this deal, Democrats should not let voters forget it, because Trump's fear-mongering about immigration, his constant drumbeat about the border, will continue all the way until November. It's probably going to get worse. And voters will need to be reminded that Republicans had a chance to actually do something about the border security, something many of them wanted to do. And Donald Trump wouldn't let them.